So hey there guys, I'm actually coming at you with a video today that's a little bit different because it's kind of like a rant, but it's also something that's really important. So if you guys didn't already know, I am a huge fan of the Pokemon games, and I am really looking forward to Pokemon Sword and Pokemon Shield. However, yesterday in an interview, Junichi Masuda officially confirmed that not all Pokemon are going to carry over to the newest Pokemon games, being Sword and Shield. So basically what that means is, guys, not every single Pokemon is going to appear in Pokemon Sword and Shield like they have in every single Pokemon game beforehand. I mean, obviously besides like Pokemon Let's Go and Pokemon Mystery Dungeon, but like this is a core Pokemon game where we can't complete the national dex. Now, right away, this is something that sounds extremely strange to me because that has always been something that's like a huge feature and something I love doing in Pokemon. I mean, yes, at this point, Pokemon has over 800 different Pokemon that they have to make models for and everything else like that, but they already have models for most of these Pokemon already done. For those of you guys who didn't already know, in Pokemon Sword and Shield, they have walking animations as well as character animations for basically every single Pokemon, and what they did in Pokemon Sword and Shield is they just brought those character models over and then they updated them a little bit, made them look a little bit better, so that way they can include all of the Pokemon in Sun and Moon. Now, this is obviously a downer for a lot of reasons, because first of all, you can't complete the national dex, which in my opinion, again, is one of the best things that you can do in the Pokemon series. Yeah, I understand not everybody likes to catch them all or anything like that, but it still puts a damper on it for those of us who do. Also, guys, if we aren't getting every single Pokemon in Sword and Shield, that means there are going to be some huge repercussions. Think about it like this. You have a Pokemon that right now is sitting in Pokemon Sun and Moon. For example, let's just say it's Greninja. Now, I have no idea if Greninja is actually going to be in Pokemon Sword and Shield. Once again, this is just an example. You started with this Greninja all the way back in Pokemon X and Pokemon Y, and now you find out that you can't transfer it over to Sword and Shield, and you cannot use it in the game at all. It has to stay in Sun and Moon for the rest of its time. Now, right there, guys, I'm sure a lot of you are probably starting to realize, like, the weight of this situation. This is an extremely big deal. We are no longer going to have access to every single Pokemon, and I just can't believe they decided to do this. Now, according to an interview from NintendoLife.com, apparently the reason that they did this is that the team spent a lot of time thinking about how it would best be to deal with the ever-expanding Pokedex, and nothing that the team had to balance reworking as many Pokemon as possible to fit with the Switch's advanced hardware and presentation possibilities while still working towards development deadlines. Battle balance also played a part with the idea of having more than 800 options available for competitive play, presenting a number of potential balancing issues. So, if you guys don't understand what that means, basically, the reason that they are not adding in all of the over 800 Pokemon at this point is because they just don't want to develop them. The game is going to be released in November, and they just don't have enough time to make character models and everything else for them, and I think that's extremely saddening. Honestly, I feel like now Pokemon is just trying to push out like a half-made product so that way it can get sold for the holiday. Like, whether or not we like it, Pokemon is going to be this year's big holiday title for Nintendo, so they have to make this deadline 100%. But Nintendo, what you don't understand is, we will be okay if you delay the game. The game is still going to sell extremely well, and in fact, I'm sure lots more people are going to buy it if they realize that they can have all the Pokemon that they loved playing with in the old games over in the new ones. I just don't understand why they aren't taking the time to do this, especially when it's going to hurt so many different fans. Now, I think that one of the biggest issues that I have with this as a whole is that this is setting an extremely bad precedent. Just because there are more and more Pokemon that keep getting developed, does that mean that this is the new norm? Does that mean that in every single Pokemon game, we're only going to see the most popular Pokemon and we're not going to see Pokemon like Trubbish and Garbodor anymore? They are still Pokemon, and I feel like the phrase, gotta catch 'em all, which Pokemon has been stressing ever since the very first episode of the anime, is starting to lose its meaning. I mean, I love catching them all because I always love that phrase, gotta catch 'em all, and now we can't catch them all, and that's extremely sad. Now guys, there is always the chance that we are going to get a DLC update for Pokemon Sword and Shield. I mean, at this point, it seems like every single Nintendo game gets at least one DLC update in its life, but it's just so sad that the living dex and the national dex is only going to be over 500 Pokemon, which means that 300 of them are going to be excluded from the game, and possibly even more, because if we only have 500 Pokemon in the national dex, that means that once we get the new Pokemon, which we're probably going to get a little over 100, that means that we aren't going to be seeing more than 400 old Pokemon in this game, and that is just extremely sad. Every single Pokemon is loved by at least a couple thousand fans out there. People love Trubbish, people love Garbodor, people love Magnemite, so to see their favorite Pokemon excluded would just be so sad. Also guys, they decided that they are going to be removing features as well. So, features like Mega Evolution and Z-Moves are no longer going to be a part of Pokemon Sword and Shield. Instead, the whole game is going to focus on Dynamax, which I guess is okay. Like, Dynamax is a pretty cool feature, but I love Mega Evolutions. I was so impressed in Pokemon X and Y when we got to see Mega Evolutions and got to see our Pokemon evolve into even stronger Pokemon. It was just absolutely mind-blowing, and now it's just not going to be there. And Z-Moves, which were in Pokemon Sun and Moon, like, those were also extremely cool, and I would have loved to use them with Scorbunny and Grookey. Those aren't going to be there either. Like, I don't know what Pokemon is doing right now, but I have a feeling that Nintendo is very heavily pressuring them to get this game out by November. They want this game out by November so that they can start to sell more copies and everything else like that. But guys, by doing this, you are hurting a lot of your fans. Yes, I understand that it'll take a lot of time to develop Mega Evolutions and Z-Moves and everything else like that, but that shouldn't matter. This is the first core Switch Pokemon game. Yes, we got Pokemon Let's Go Pikachu and Let's Go Eevee, and everyone was okay with those because, yeah, we only had access to the original 151 plus the Alolan forms in Meltan and Melmetal, but like, that was okay. That was just a remake of the original Red and Blue, and everybody understood that. Seriously, that was okay. But this is not. This is our core Pokemon playing experience, and it's your first big one on the Switch. Your whole new beautiful region. Everything about Sun and Moon just looks absolutely amazing, and now it's just getting taken away from us. A lot of people are starting to realize that this might not be the best game that they've seen come out of Pokemon in a while. Like, this is something that is so mind-boggling that nobody even understands why this is happening. Why would Pokemon go out of their way to remove all of those awesome features and all of those awesome Pokemon when they're loved by so many? I really think that this is setting a terrible precedent for future Pokemon games to come, because think about it. As the tech gets more and more advanced and it gets harder to develop Pokemon and different characters and everything like that, are they going to cut even more corners? Are we eventually only going to see the most popular 100 Pokemon plus like the new 200 Pokemon from the region? Like, this is an extremely big deal, guys. And they're cutting out Mega Evolutions and Z-Moves. I know I keep going back to this, but why on earth would you ever cut out those two features that are loved by so many? Overall, guys, I really do not know what Pokemon is thinking right now. The last thing that I want to talk about is actually something that I read in the Nintendo Life comments section of this article. Now, if you guys want to go ahead and read this whole article, go ahead and do so. I'll leave a link to it in the description bar down below. But one of the things that people were saying is that there's only a very small percentage of people that are going to catch every single Pokemon anyway, so why does it even matter? Who would waste their time collecting every single 800 plus Pokemon? And guys, what you don't understand is, yeah, we may not want to collect every single one, but that doesn't mean that we are going to be happy when our favorite Pokemon gets excluded. Like, in every single game that has a Mareep, I end up using an Ampharos on my team, and honestly, I was looking forward to using another Ampharos or Riolu for Lucario, but are we going to get them? Are they going to be in this game? Nobody knows yet. There are going to be people that are so devastated by just them forgetting about their favorite Pokemon coming to Pokemon Sword and Shield. However, guys, at least all the Pikachu fans out there are safe because, as we already know, Pikachu is 100% confirmed. But yeah, guys, so that begs the question, which Pokemon are getting the axe? Which Pokemon are we going to see in Sword and Shield? And which Pokemon are just not going to be there? As of now, we really have no way of knowing, but I guess we're going to find out pretty soon. Hopefully this doesn't set a precedent for future Pokemon games, and hopefully they aren't just getting rid of these Pokemon forever, hoping that us fans forget about them, because that would be a really dumb thing to do. However, guys, like I said, with all of that being said, sorry that this video was kind of ranty. I just wanted to get this out there, tell you guys about this, because it is something that's extremely important to all the Pokemon fans out there. And I know that a lot of you guys listening probably feel the same way. I know a lot of you guys are probably scratching your heads, wondering why Pokemon would ever do something like this. So I just wanted to talk about it a little bit. Hopefully we aired some concerns and everything else like that. But guys, let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below. I'd love to hear about it. But with all of that being said, guys, have a great rest of your day. Make sure to subscribe, share, and like, and take care.